Hey, what's up guys? It's Fast Action Jax. I just want to do a little video about the street glide versus the road glide, in my opinion, and differences of the two. First, talk a little bit about the street glide. I think the street glide, from my personal preference, is a little bit better for guys, say, 5'10" and under. If you're a little shorter and you can't reach, you can always lower the back a little bit, but the reason why I say that is because the way that the wind hits the fairing. If you're over 5'10", like say you're 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", on a street glide, you get a lot of buffering in your helmet and your glasses will tend to shake because the fairing's a little bit closer to you. Also, on a street glide, I find that a street glide, you get more of a touring, comfortable type of ride on the street glide. More chill, more relaxed. Your boom audio and your gauges and stuff are a little closer to you. So when you're sitting on the bike, it's a little easier to touch the screen if you need to, because it's a lot closer. Both of these are 2018 Street Glide and Road Glide specials. So they have the new stretch bags. As you can see, they're fully blacked out, kind of that dark customs look. They did redo the suspension, and these bikes have 111 foot-pounds of torque right off the line. I think that they weighed the Street Glide right at 798 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. Now, a Road Glide, in my opinion, is you get a little more of a sporty ride from it. And the reason why I say that is because since the fairing is not directly attached to the handlebars, when you're sitting on it, I feel like you have more stability and more control to actually kind of ride sporty, like hit corners hard and stuff like that. I have a little line that I tell people when they're looking at road glides, if they've never ridden them, is if you've ever ridden a bike when you're younger and you have a buddy, riding on your handlebars of your bicycle when you're like 13, 14, I always say that riding a road glide is like taking your buddy off the handlebars. Seriously, because you're losing like 100, 150 pounds because of that fairing weight. Also, if you're a little bit taller, like I mentioned with the street glide, if you're like 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", maybe 5'11", you don't get that buffering that you get on a street glide. Since the fairing is a little farther away from you, the wind comes up and directly over your head a little bit more. But the only downfall is some people don't like how far the radio is away from you. Like I said, on the road glide, everything is a little further away. But on both models, you don't ever have to touch that screen at all. It's fully controllable from your handlebars. So your cruise and your controls are right here on both sides. And I'll go over some of that more in a ride video. But like I said, so if you're torn between a street glide or a road glide, just keep in mind your height and also what you're after. I personally think that a street glide is a little better for chilling and touring. I think a road glide is a little better for hitting corners and stuff like that. But they're both touring bikes, so you're going to be touring on both of them. So just keep that in mind and test ride both if you're interested, and make the decision on your own which one you like more. But that's the differences between the two, and I hope that helped you guys. Thanks, guys.